right, so welcome to Apostolic Praise 100, a crash course in basics. This is lesson 1. We're going to be covering the introduction to the piano here, as if you don't know anything at all. We're going to be going over the notes, major and minor chords, how to play bass in your left hand with chords in your right hand, whole steps, half steps, the C major scale, fraction chords, and Jesus is the answer. It's going to be like you don't know anything at all. We're starting from the very beginning. This first lesson is going to be a little crazy, a lot of information. It's going to be like drinking out of a fire hose. So just kind of hang on. If you need to pause the video and go through and master something, feel free to do that. So do whatever you've got to do to hang on and enjoy this lesson and the rest of this course as well. All right, so let's go ahead and start off just with some prayer. Of course, we believe that prayer makes everything better. So I'm just going to pray and ask that God will bless you and bless your playing and your ministry. God, we love you this day. We thank you for your goodness and mercy, God. We pray you bless every single person that watches this video. Pray it be a blessing to them. Pray you strengthen and use them for your ministry and for your kingdom. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with lesson 1. First thing we're going to be learning is the notes on the piano. So the white notes are simply the alphabet letters. Easy as pie. Basically, in the alphabet, you know, you've got 26 letters, A through Z. In the musical alphabet, however, you've only got 7 letters. You've got A through G. Okay, now if you've got a full keyboard like I do, your very first note on the left is going to be an A, 99% of the time. So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, very, very simple. Now you notice on the keyboard there's sets of 3 notes and there's sets of 2 notes. Okay, so the sets of 2 notes, right there, you're going to have a C to the left of the set of 2 notes. It's always a C. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and play all the C's on the keyboard. Whenever you see a set of 2 notes to the left of those, it's always going to be a C. And then alphabet letters are always the white notes. So C, after C is going to be D, and then E, and then F, and then G. Now, after G, we don't go to H or anything. It goes back to A. It starts all over. Okay, so A, B, and then we're back to C again. All right, and of course you can see it lights it up with the note on the actual screen here. So you can see it nice and easily. It's also in your PDF study guide. There's a nice diagram there for you that shows it. Now when you have the sets of 3 black notes, to the left of those is always going to be F. So if you can find C or F, you can pretty much always find the other notes after that. Now I would recommend going through and playing each one of these notes on the keyboard. Just for practice. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. Let's start off with, we've already done C. Let's go ahead and do D. D is going to be in between the 2 black notes. So D, 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 D. E is the next one after D. It's to the right of the 2 black notes. So E, 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 E. F is to the left of the 3 black notes. F. G is after F. A is after G. B is after A. It's to the right of the 3 black notes. Alright, you can kind of see how it works there. So that's basically how it works. Now let's go over the black notes really quickly. Each black note actually has 2 different names. So the first name is a sharp name, and sharp basically looks like a tic-tac-toe sign. The symbol for a sharp is like the pound sign on your phone or a hashtag. So like C sharp or D sharp is actually its own note. So what I want you to do, whenever you think sharp, think go up. You know, just like a tack is sharp, sticks up, you sit on it, it's going to hurt. So think go up for sharp. So C is right here. C sharp is the note right up from C, the black note up from C. Here's D. This is D sharp. Okay. F, F sharp. G, G sharp, A sharp. So you always go up, and up is always the higher part of the piano. Okay, down is the lower part. You're going to hear how it sounds a lot lower, okay? So C, C sharp, D, D sharp, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, okay? Take a second, play all the C sharps on the piano. That's a real good way to learn them. C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp. D sharp, 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 F sharp. Okay, G sharp's in the middle of the 3 black notes, and then A sharp is to the right of the 3 black notes. Now Now you may notice that my on-screen keyboard is actually using something else besides a sharp. That's because in gospel music we tend to refer to things mainly as flats. Now there's a technical aspect to that where you're supposed to refer when you're in a sharp key to sharps, and blah 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 blah. So gospel music we typically use flat name. Okay, all right, we got that out of the way. Black notes also have a flat name. So a flat, the symbol for a flat is basically a lowercase b, like as in D flat or B flat. In the PDF study guide, you see what they look like. It's a capital D followed by a lowercase b, D flat. All right, so when you think flat, always think go down, right? The ground is flat, think down. So D flat, this is a D. Let's go down from D. That's D flat. Okay, go down from E, it's E flat. Go down from G, G flat. Go down from A flat. Go down from B flat. Okay, so once again, I recommend playing all the notes. D flat, D flat, D flat, D flat, and saying them as you play them helps out a lot. It's simple, but it works. E flat, 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 G 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 flat, A 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 flat, B 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 flat. It's crazy, but it works. Sometimes simple works. And that's pretty much how that works. Now remember, once again, that each one of these black notes has two different names. So it's C sharp or D flat. It's the same note. C sharp and D flat are the same note. D sharp and E flat are the same note. F sharp and G flat are the same note. G sharp and A flat are the same note. A sharp and B flat are the same note. So just remember that, okay? Now the other note you want to take special note of is middle C. Now middle C is the C right here sitting in front of you in the middle of the keyboard. And that's where we tend to play around most of the time. It's right here around the middle of the keyboard. All right, so full-size piano, you have 88 keys. This is going to be the fourth C up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Middle C if you've got a full-size keyboard. If not, it's probably the C that's just literally sitting right in front of your nose. You know, that's pretty much how it works. All right, so that's pretty much how that works because you've got to know where middle C is because that's where you're going to be playing your chords. Now wait a second, what are chords, right? So chords are basically when you're playing more than one note at a time. But before we learn about chords, first we're going to learn about something cool called half steps and whole steps. So a half step in music is basically when two notes are just right next to each other. So B and C are a half note apart, okay? E and F are a half note apart, or a half step apart, I'm sorry, not half note. Because they're right next to each other, they're adjacent. So those are a half step apart. Right now, I'm going up by half steps, okay? You're just literally going up. C and C sharp are half steps apart. For another example, C sharp and D. Anytime you've got notes that are right next to each other, that's a half step apart. Now C and D are not half steps apart because there's a C sharp in between them, okay? So that's how half steps work. F to F sharp to G, G to A flat to A to B flat to B, B to C. Those are all half steps. Now a whole step is two half steps. So B flat to C, you're basically skipping a note. You know, B flat to C, you're skipping the B. Okay, two half steps. Okay, E flat to F. That's a whole step. I'm sorry, two half steps. Okay, C to D, that's a whole step. Okay, D to E, E to F sharp or G flat to A flat to B flat. All of those are whole steps. Okay, now that's kind of important to know because when we play chords, it helps us to refer to things by half steps and whole steps. But we're going to show you a couple of simple tricks that you can use to start off with. So chords. A chord is when you play more than one note together in your right hand. So we play a major chord by literally going up 4 half steps and then going up 3 half steps, okay? So this is actually a C major chord. So I would just take it and memorize it, and then we'll learn about the technical stuff in a minute. So C major chord right here, C, E, G, made up of 3 notes. Thumb is on C, middle finger's on E, pinky is on G. Thumb on C, middle finger E, pinky on G. called a C major chord. There's several different kinds of chords. Major is the kind that we're going to learn about first. So remember, you want to play this chord in the very middle of your piano, around middle C, as close to it as possible, I guess. But you can play it anywhere, just about on the keyboard. It'll sound good. All right, now the next one we're going to learn is called an F major chord. So basically, what I do, a little trick I use, I put my thumb on the name of the chord I want to make. So my thumb goes on F, and then I skip a white note, and I skip another white note. Now that's not really the technical way to do it, but it'll get us by for now. All right, so this is F major chord, F, A, C. Okay, see how you're around the three black notes? F, A, C. F with your thumb, A with your middle finger, C with your pinky. Next is G major chord. Put our thumb on G, middle finger on B, and then pinky on D. And that's a G major chord. All right, simple enough, right? And once again, the technical way to do it is you're going up 4 half steps. So start on the chord that you want to make. If I want to make a C major chord, I start on C. I go up 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go up 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. That's the technical way to do it. We're going to learn all of our major chords in a few lessons, so don't worry too much about the technical aspect of how you make them, because we're literally going to teach you a trick that groups them together and helps you to memorize them really easily without having to think about it. All right, so now we're going to teach you how to use both hands. So whenever you play a chord in your right hand, your left hand, this guy over here, this is your bass player, okay? This is where you'll play a bass note. And it's really easy. So if you play a C major chord in your right hand, most of the time you're going to want to play a C bass note in your left hand, okay? You can do it down here, or you can do it up here. Either one is fine, as long as you got a C in the bass in your left hand, okay? And you hear how full that sounds. Same thing if you have a F major chord in the right hand, you want to play an F bass note in the left hand, all right? Really simple stuff. G major chord in the right hand, play a G note in the left hand. And that's pretty much how it works. Now there are a few more things that I do want to mention to you before we actually get into learning our first song, which is awesome. First lesson, right? Learning a song. And this is going to be how to read the rhythm with apostolic praise. So what we basically do, rhythm is playing the chords with a beat. Playing the chords and with both hands with a beat so that you can play a song. So basically, the way you do it, if you look in your PDF study guide, you can see you've got a letter, like say capital C for instance, followed by 3 slashes. C slash slash slash. So what you're going to do, whenever you see the chord name, you're going to play both hands together. Okay, right hand chord, left hand bass. Okay, but whenever there's just a slash, you're just going to play your right hand. Okay, so if you've got a C with 3 slashes after it, you're going to do C, which is together, and then slash, slash, slash. Or you can count it like together, right, right, right. If you've got a song where you've got just 1 slash after the C, you're going to do together, right. Okay, because the slash is just the right hand. If you see the note, that's actually telling you to play both hands together. All right, so there's an exercise song you can do. It's C, C, F, F, C, C, G, G, ended on a C. We'll run through it real quick. So C, C, slash, 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 F, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, back to C. Real basic stuff here, but we're building the foundation here. G, G one more time, ended on C. All right. Congratulations, you made it this far. You've made it to part 1 through in lesson 1. So if you want to pause the video now and go through and practice everything that we've just gone over, that may be a good thing for you to do. If you're doing fine, let's go ahead and keep going. So now we're going to go on to minor chords. Minor chords are another type of chord that we use. You could almost consider them like the opposite of major chords. But basically, you know, for the major chord, you went up 4 half steps and up 3 half steps. Or some people like to think of it this way: you skip 3 notes and then skip 2 notes. For the minor chord, you do the opposite. So you go up 3 half steps and then you go up 4 half steps. Instead of 4 and 3, you do 3 and 4. But I like to use the trick of, and once again, we're going to use the trick to do grouping and teach you this really easily, but I like to use the trick of just moving my middle finger down. So if this is C major chord, I'm going to move my middle finger down a half step, and that's C minor chord. How easy is that, right? F major chord, move it down a half step, that's F minor. G major chord, that's G minor. But you don't need to worry about those chords for now, because we're going to stick to some really, really easy ones here to get you going. So we learned C, F, G, which are all white notes, which make it really easy. You're just skipping, skipping a white note to make it, basically. And now we're going to learn A minor, D minor, and E minor. So you're going to see a capital D with a lowercase m. That lowercase m stands for minor, like small. Minor means small. So we use a lowercase m. And the notes for D minor are D, F, A. D, F, A. Okay? Really simple. Just put your thumb on D. Middle finger on F. And pinky on A. Hit a D in your left hand. E minor, same concept. Thumb on E, middle finger on G, pinky on B. Remember, the difference between these is the number of half steps between each note. So don't get confused. We're going to study these in more depth here shortly. But basically, for major chords, you skip 4 and then skip 3. I'm sorry, you go up 4 and then go up 3. For minor chords, you go up 3 and then go up 4 as far as the half steps work. Like I said, I like to think about it in terms of skipping, because with a C major chord, you're basically skipping 3 notes and then skipping 2. With a minor chord, you're skipping 2 and skipping 3. So that's the difference between them. I wouldn't worry about that too much for now. For now, let's just have some fun, learn some songs, and we'll get into that stuff more later. So E minor, E, G, B, left hand. You can play just one single bass note. We'll get into the double stuff later. A minor, A, C, E. Just put your thumb on A, middle finger on C, pinky on E, and left hand A. And once again, if you're a little overwhelmed right now, just pause the video, go through, practice what we've already learned. We've already covered a lot. Like I said, this first lesson is going to be like drinking out of a fire hose. There's going to be so much information here, but it's all going to be stuff that you need to know. So the exercise song that we have here is A minor, D minor, D minor, A minor, E minor, and ended on an A minor. Now each one of these is followed by 3 slashes, so we're going to count 4 beats together, right, 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 or 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and do it. So A minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor. All right, cool. So you've mastered major chords, you've mastered minor chords. We're just moving right along here. We're doing great. So next we're going to learn something called a scale. Really, really simple stuff. We're not going to do anything crazy boring here. You don't need to memorize all 12 scales right now. That's ridiculous. You're just getting started. A scale, you just need to know what it is. A scale is basically a series of notes played one after another. C major scale, for example, contains the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Just all the white notes. Okay, really, really simple. So the fingering for this scale is 1, 2, 3. And when we use these numbers, our thumb is 1, index is 2, middle finger is 3. This is 4, and then pinky is 5. So we've got a system here that we use, and this is commonplace in music. All this stuff we're teaching is just common chord theory for the most part, except for the slashes. That's something we do here with apostolic praise. But basically, just 1, 2, 3. This is your fingering. Thumb, pointer finger, middle finger. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing going down if you want to go down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Now, it's a good exercise to do. It'll build strength in your hand. It'll also build some agility and some speed. Just remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's a really good thing to remember. Don't try to do it super fast. Just try to do it smooth. Okay. Once again, it's more important to actually know the notes that are in the key of C here for what we're doing. I wouldn't really worry too much about a lot more than that. But like I said, it's good for finger strengthening if you want to do it just as an exercise. It's not going to hurt you at all. Exercise song 3. All right, this is just another really simple thing here. It's just kind of mixing up the notes a little bit. I'm not even going to play it, but practice it. It's C, F, G, F, C, F, G, F, ended on a C. Now, the next song, I do want to point something out about this next song that we're going to look at. It has what's called a fraction chord in it, okay? So a fraction chord is basically, for example, you ever see a song and it says like F/G. If you look in the PDF study guide, it will show you what I'm talking about. F/G means you play an F chord in the right hand and a G note in the left hand. So it's basically like a fraction, you know, like 1/4. 1/4, the one's on the top, the 4 is on the bottom. 1/4. It's the same thing in music. F/G is F over G. F is on the top, G is on the bottom. Remember, this is the top, this is the bottom. All right, so F in the right hand, because our right hand plays chords. G in the left hand, because our left hand plays bass notes. Pretty simple, okay? So exercise song 4 has the chords C, F, G, A minor, D minor, G, C, and then it's got an F over G, and then it ends on a C. F over G, we'll talk more about that later. It's basically like a restart button. It restarts the song. It's what we use to start the song over. All right, so let's go ahead and play exercise song C, F coming up, G, A minor, D minor, G, C, new fraction chord F over G, and you hear how nice it sounds just to start the song over, end it on a C. All right, Jesus is the answer. Now we're getting into some cool stuff. And this is the last part of the lesson, and this is also the very first song you're going to learn, written by the famous Andre Crouch, one of the great pioneers of gospel music. And it's a pretty cool song. The reason I like to use it as an example song is because it uses every single chord in the key of C. And it's really neat. The left hand actually just walks down. So Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's... Now let me explain what I'm doing here. The first chord is a C. Okay, and it's got 1/ after it, so we know that we count together, right? Or 1, 2. So Jesus is... Now this next chord is one of those new fraction chords, and this is one you're going to see a lot. This is called G over B. And it's G in the right hand, B note in the left hand, okay? G chord in the right hand, B note in the left hand. So, Jesus is the answer. A minor coming up for the world to G. F coming up above him, there's no... Here's another one, C over E, other, C over E, C chord in the right hand, E note in your bass. C in the right, E in the bass. No other. So above him there's no other. D minor, Jesus is the way. G. Okay, let's do that all over again one more time. So Jesus is G over B, 4 A minor to G, F, C over E, D minor, Jesus is the way. G. Alright, third line, Jesus is pretty much the same, a little different. Towards the end though. A minor for the world today. F above him, there's no C over E. Alright, F over G, C. Okay, so above him, there's no other. Jesus is the way. I'm sorry. Alright. So that's it. That's it. Now, if you've never heard that song before, of course you got your practice track to practice it with the full band practice track on your practice CD or MP3 online. But do yourself a favor, look it up on YouTube. Famous song. You've got to know this song. It's a very powerful song, and of course it's true. You know, Jesus is the answer for our world still, and it always will be. And so check it out. Look it up on online, YouTube or whatever. And it's a really awesome song sung by Andre Crouch, one of the great pioneers of gospel music. So you got to know your roots. All right, because this is stuff that he wrote a lot of awesome songs. He wrote that other song, "The Blood That Jesus Shed for Me," "The Blood That Jesus Shed for Me." You know, a lot of great songs. So definitely want to learn some of this stuff because more than likely you will be caught in the service one day where you'll need to know how to play that song. So, all right, this is the end of lesson 1. Congratulations, you made it through. And God bless. We'll see you back here for your next one shortly. And remember that not all of the lessons are this long and this intense. The beginning one, we really get into it. We really get into some neat stuff. So I make no apologies. This is the way we designed it. And God bless. We'll see you back here for your next lesson.